Oh my God, it just tore the roof. It just tore the roof off.
Yeah, tonight, pictures and videos are pouring into our newsroom after a confirmed EF-1 tornado brought severe destruction to downtown Buffalo just a few hours ago.
Buffalo police are saying tonight they are aware of a touchdown near Niagara and Carolina Streets. That's on the west side. 2 on Your Side's video from there shows trees and massive branches down all over the road. First responders are on the scene, and at this time, no reports of anyone being hurt. And at this hour, live Storm Team 2 radar shows storms continuing to pop up across the region.
Plus, we are taking a live look now at the hills down in Salamanca as the worst of the weather moves into the southern tier now. And good evening, everyone. I'm Scott Levin. And
I'm Mary Alice Demler. We have live team coverage coming up in just a moment, but we want to get right to the forecast first.
Yeah, Storm Team 2 meteorologist Dan Russell has been tracking what you need to know about these storms from the Weather Center right now. Dan, this is highly unusual.
Yeah, I mean, historical. It's already been a historic summer, but we did get that confirmation of an EF-1 tornado downtown Buffalo. So I want to take a look at the radar here. This was at 12:45, and you can see how intense this storm was, but this was a bit of a rare setup. Look at where the heaviest of the weather is located. It's actually south of downtown. The reason for the spin up, more likely, of that tornado, it was thanks to our lake breeze boundary that set up right over downtown Buffalo. We had the Lake Erie breeze coming up from the southwest, the Lake Ontario breeze coming in from the north. That's what allowed that circulation on the northern side of this cell, guys. So again, a very rare instance where we did have this EF-1 tornado combined again with a lot of that heavy rain. As far as the active weather that we are currently seeing, luckily things are quieting down in and around downtown Buffalo. But again, Scott Meteorological, very rare indeed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any memory, Dan, of us really having anything right in the city proper like this.
Yeah, you know, we've had the Cheektowaga tornado a bit ago that a lot of people remember. Sure. Of course, the Hamburg tornado. But for downtown Buffalo, there's really only one instance where we actually had a confirmation of a tornado, and that was thanks to a water spout that briefly moved ashore in and around the Coast Guard on Halloween of 2017. Outside of that, this was really the first true tornado. We are still acting some active weather. Of course, we still have a flash flood warning in place because of a lot of that heavier rain. And we do have a severe thunderstorm warning up towards northern Orleans County. That storm is going to be pushing out over Lake Ontario. Of course, we're going to talk more about today's weather, this evening's weather, and have that 7-day forecast if there's going to be any more active weather, all coming up here in a bit. Scott Meteorological.
It's been an incredible day. Thank you, Dan, for that explainer.
And just into our newsroom now, a new look at the damage left behind after this afternoon's tornado. Check out the scene from Skyview 2. You can see a roof ripped right off of a building and tree debris down on the ground. Cleanup right now is still underway. And we have live team coverage for you tonight at 6. Nate Benson, Andy Payton, and Claudine Ewing are all standing by tonight.
But we begin with our Ron Plants, who just heard from city and county officials during a news conference shortly after it happened. Ron?
Mary Alice, obviously a lot of cleanup work underway here. The DPW crew's very busy here on this stretch of Carolina. We're actually here at the intersection of Whitney. May be able to see over my shoulder. They're actually trying to take a tree down back there. We heard the chainsaws a little while ago, but we really got the big picture assessment from Mayor Brown and his city emergency managers, as well as Erie County Executive Mark Polenkars. They told us that this weather actually hit here just before 1 o'clock this afternoon. Obviously, as you referred to it, we're getting all those video, the pictures and all the video coming in on the damage, especially again on Carolina in the vicinity of 7th Street, but also other streets like Niagara and Prospect. Primarily tree damage, but also some structural damage at a nursing home, which Channel 2's Claudine Ewing is going to tell you more about shortly, but also more limited damage to the roof of City Hall and the City Mission. Plenty of down power lines as well. We have some counts, I think 800 in the city specifically. In the city, building inspectors are currently assessing damage and warning that some buildings may be declared off limits for residents for now.
We have a team of inspectors out going street by street trying to triage damage. We're looking for anything with down power lines that would be a hazard, parapets and roofs on masonry buildings that have had damage, chimneys have fallen. As our inspectors go through, we'll look for the most dangerous situations. In some instances, people may not be able to go back home tonight. We will post a buildings unsafe placard on those buildings.
We have a street sweeper right in the background here right now as they're trying to clean up the street. One of the more bizarre scenes, a car flipped over on its roof at the Buffalo City Mission and another car next to it showing some damage as well. But again, you got to stress this, considering the fact that this hit in a very consolidated, very densely populated area in the city along Carolina and some of those streets. We don't have any reports of injuries. That's something we're really fortunate about in this type of situation. Reporting live here from Carolina on your side, I'm Ron Plants, Channel 2 News. Back to you.
Incredible video. Thank you, Ron, for sharing that. And we know this area well. It is just a block away from the 2 on Your Side studios, and neighbors near Johnson Park were out around 1 o'clock this afternoon to survey the damage, and witnesses told us they could see the twisting winds that led to that tornado touchdown.
It's crazy over here. The tornado whipped through here, I mean, going about 100 miles an hour, just whipped through here like crazy.
Clouds were coming really fast and moving too fast, and that's when I saw the scene, things flying up in the air, and I said, oh my God, it's a tornado, so we ran inside.
And a good thing they did. Our Andy Payton has been out in the community this afternoon, and he joins us live with more reaction from neighbors. Andy?
Yeah, Mary Alice, we're here on Prospect Ave right now, just about a block and a half, maybe 2 blocks from where they say that EF-1 tornado touched down, and you can see the damage is just everywhere. I mean, take a look at this over here. You can see this tree completely down on top of this car here, and then Ben, if you'll come with me this way, you can see, again, another site right here, another tree on top of this car. At one point, guys, this spanned the entire street down Prospect here. Crews have been working very hard to get this back up and running, but these are the sites we're seeing over here, and luckily not too much damage to the houses up here. We did lose a chimney up there. Folks have been working on that, trying to get the brick down from there, but we've kind of spent just the past hour walking up and down the street here and talking to some of these residents who say they actually saw this tornado up in the air, and just listen to how they describe this.
My dog just started barking a lot, you know. Then I said, what happened? When I see in the window, I saw that there was something like, you know, moving so faster. Oh, everything was up. And the floor, something.
I could look through the patio door and I could see pieces of building as big as a garage door moving horizontally through the air. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, truly remarkable to see there. We want to show you some video now from Carolina and Whitney, just a block away from where we are right now. And that's where this large chunk of roof that's actually part of a house on Prospect where we are flew a block over to Whitney and is now shutting that street down. And as you can see, the damage we're seeing continues down to Carolina where Ron just was, where more trees still remain down, keeping most of the roads closed there. I want to bring you back out the Prospect now. You can see some of this debris on the ground here. It's very heavy, and it is all over these neighbors' backyards across the streets here. What's amazing is they believe that this actually came from a building on Niagara Street and flew all the way over here, which again, probably 2 blocks, guys, just up in the air. Once again, I know we stressed this a bunch, but just the fact you see that traveling so far, amazing. No one was hurt here, guys.
Yeah, it is amazing, Andy. It's so rare. It's such an odd thing to happen inland like that. We appreciate your reports tonight. Andy Payton live tonight. And residents of the Ellicott Center Nursing Home, they have been forced now to evacuate after a portion of the roof ripped off the building, leaving the building uninhabitable tonight. Our Claudine Ewing is there with more on the moving effort underway right now. Claudine?
Well, Scott, we're going to bring you up to date. First of all, a lot of tree damage outside of the Ellicott Center. However, inside, all of the residents are there. I had a chance to speak with one of the administrators on the phone today, and he tells me that all of the residents are inside. Where the damage is, because right now there is a crane on top, there was some roof damage. Where the residents were when this actually hit, they were just moved or displaced to another part of the building. No one has been relocated from this facility as of now. Ellicott Center is a skilled nursing facility. It is also a rehabilitation center. It is owned by a company out of the Bronx, New York. I had a chance to speak with the administrator earlier today by phone. He told me that they were waiting for the fire department to come. We saw the fire department come. Whether or not they have deemed that residents have to be moved to another location, that remains to be seen. But listen to what the Erie County executive told reporters earlier today.
So 35 of the approximate 120 are being moved under the plan that the nursing home operator has in place already with New York State. Every nursing home operator has to have an emergency contingency plan if something should happen at the facility as to where they're going to move the patients. So if the operator has another nursing home in this area where they have empty beds, they can move them there. If they have no empty beds in another nursing home that they own, they have to move them to another facility and pay for the cost.
Once again, we are live outside of the Ellicott Center here on 7th Street. Again, this is a skilled nursing facility and a rehabilitation center. The residents are still inside as of now. However, the administrator did tell me that in case they have to move patients, they could move them to their other location, which is located on Delaware Avenue. We want to show you the extent of the damage. Look at this. This is like an antenna that actually flew off of one of the buildings. It's across the street, and that's why we were able to pick it up. This is just extensive damage, something we have not seen in downtown Buffalo, at least not on the Lower West Side, in some time now. Once again, residents are inside. We do see cars on the outside. People are inside checking, and there is a crane right now on the roof of this building trying to do some of the repairs that are needed, because that's where most of the damage came from. When we're talking about damage, we have to go over to Johnson Park. That's where my colleague Nate Benson is standing by live right now, because there was a lot of damage there. Hi, Nate.
Yeah, that's right, Claudine. As you just said, a lot of damage here. Andy saw a lot of damage. Ron saw a lot of pack jump in. Johnson Park Hutch Tech. Look at this massive tree that was just ripped to shreds when that tornado whipped through the Lower West Side. We're only a block away from our news station, too, so this is how close the damage was to where we are. I mean, just take a look at this. Tree bark peeled off like a banana. So just intense winds coming by. Right behind me here, you see one of those light poles bent, another one further back completely bent over from the winds of that tornado. I spoke to an eyewitness who lives right across the street here on Johnson Park, who saw the whole thing unfold. Here's what he had to say.
I never experienced it. I've always seen it on TV. You know, Hamburg usually has certain things like that, but it felt unreal, you know, but it's also like, it's Buffalo. So it was also like, you know, not too excited, too shocked about it, but it was definitely shocking to have some in the middle of summer. Like, okay, this is crazy.
Did you have downtown tornado potentially on your bingo card?
Not at all. No, not at all. I think it was gonna be raining, but I'm like, this windy and just making sure my car and everything was okay. It was unexpected.
Yeah, and the scene here in Johnson Park all afternoon has been very active. A lot of residents bringing limbs out from their backyard. DPW crews, as you can see behind me here, working very hard to remove all of that debris from Johnson Park. They're going to be here well into the evening, and so will we, working on all the updates we can possibly provide. Scott and Marielle, certainly none of us saw this coming today, of course. Quite a historic day weather-wise here in downtown Buffalo. Live and on your side, Nate Benson, Channel 2 News.
Nate, thank you. And stick with us on air and online as Storm Team 2 continues to track this severe weather for you. And be sure to download the 2 on Your Side app for live radar, the latest forecast, and minute-by-minute breaking news alerts. It's free right now. It's on your smartphone's app store.